So the non-fuzzy details of Aliyah shipping are that if you folks are returning residents, that is people who are out of the country, who are Israelis, who made Aliyah at one time and then went back, and you stayed out for at least 2 years, then you have rights for 9 months to bring in 2 shipments. If you're Olim or returning minors, people who grew up here and then left and came back, then you have 3 shipments in 3 years. And that means, it doesn't just mean no VAT, no sales tax, it also means no sales tax or no customs. So it usually totals about 30%. I just made a shipment from Amazon because I'm not supposed to hitchhike on my customers' shipments. So I made a shipment from Amazon, actually via one of those, some consolidator, and they charged, the stuff costs like $700, was all sorts of miscellaneous things that I couldn't find here. And the taxes were like $250. So that's what you're saving, is you're saving all the taxes. So if you have $10,000 worth of stuff, you're saving $3,000. If you have $100,000, you're saving $30,000 in tax. So it's no, how do you say it? No means some. It's a significant amount that you can save over bringing stuff in and paying taxes. But you only have 3 years and only 3 shipments, and you can bring them from any country. So if you wanted to bring in a bunch of Italian furniture or German appliances or whatever, you could bring them from Europe. Things that you're supposedly, like all the things that I'm saying about Olim are, I think that there's a bit of a change here. What do they call it? A sea change in the attitude at customs to Olim, such that they're really being nice to us. I mean, us, I made Aliyah 44 years ago, but they're being nice to our customers also. So we had a guy who packed up his own, like a whole house full of tiles and sinks and plumbing supplies and who knows how many appliances and multiples of computers and TVs. And they charged him not a penny or a shekel of taxes. Like, that's unheard of. So, and they rarely inspect people. We had another customer who brought in like a zillion dollars worth of, like 2 containers full of everything you can imagine that's expensive. And they just didn't blink an eye. They just said, fine. We had another customer who was absolutely determined to declare things at their very fullest and value, because he didn't want to have any besmirches, whatever his karma or his midot. So I think it was a she. So it was a tiny little shipment, like 70 cubic feet, like equivalent to like a small box of this or 2 of these pallets. So not a lot of stuff, but it was worth, like, she paid like $5,000 for it. I don't know what it was, and she insisted on declaring it for $5,000. And this being a formerly socialist country, and a country where 90% of the people still are not earning amazing salaries, they thought that was peculiar. That, maybe it's one thing to bring in $5,000 in a tiny little shipment, and it's another thing to declare it. So that's like a little bit uncalled for. So they inspected her shipment and found out there was nothing wrong with it. But just to say that you have to play the game of what I call minimal reasonable value. That's what you declare stuff for. And we make up a part of our preparation for going through customs